another day here at the Adrienne Ross Show, where sports and culture connect. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. I also hope that you hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Now, I have a prediction to make today. Some of you have seen the video I put out last night in reference to Sheila Johnson, the WNBA owner, who said that Caitlin Clark should not have been Time's Athlete of the Year, but that it should have been the entire WNBA. Go watch the video if you haven't seen it. But I'm going to make a prediction on the heels of all the hoopla surrounding what Mrs. Johnson said. But first, I want to play just a little bit of what she said during this interview. Won't play everything that I played last night, and I will spare you the commentary that you already heard me give last night. But I am going to make a prediction. But just take a look at this little bit.
Just the structure of the way media plays out race. I'm going to be very honest. I feel really bad because I've seen so many players of color that are equally as talented, and they never got the recognition that they should have. And I think right now it is time for that to happen. So last night we read Time magazine where Caitlin Clark was named Athlete of the Year. Why couldn't they have put the whole WNBA on that cover and said, the WNBA is the league of the year because of all the talent that we have? Because when you just keep singling out one player, it creates hard feelings. And so now you're starting to hear stories of racism within the WNBA, and I don't want to hear that. We have got to operate and become stronger as a league and respect everybody that's playing and their talents.
You mentioned Time magazine.
Okay, like I said, I'm not going to go back over what I already said last night. I think if you are a reasonable, common sense, just thinking individual without bias, then you know for yourself how utterly ridiculous what she said is. And she is facing some backlash. Okay, let me just show you something from Clark Report showing what Lexi Brown of the WNBA, the LA Sparks, has X'd or tweeted about these comments. So here we are at the Clark Report, and it says WNBA player Lexi Brown responds to the interview. And here are just some tweets that are screenshot here at the Clark Report. Lexi Brown, so much negative discourse and non-basketball topics. Can't wait to change that. Then she goes on to say, saying that after having to move her team's games to a bigger arena when they played the Fever is absolutely insane, she said. Here's Lexi Brown again. Can we please stop taking steps backwards? And then here, she also didn't even mention her own stellar rookie, just unserious. Remember, they have rookie Aaliyah Edwards. She didn't even mention her. She didn't even make a case for her. She just wanted to make an uncase for Caitlin. But here, this is Lexi, and I'm just looking at a few comments. Someone says, John Tyler says, I definitely thought all of that was walking backwards. Someone says, thank you, Lexi Brown. And then someone says she had to protect her tweets. God bless you, Lexi Brown. I noticed that. I saw the lock on it, but I didn't know if it was always locked or what, but maybe somebody knows that she had to because she was getting a lot of stuff. I don't know. She cooked here. The Fever's 2 away games versus the Mystics accounted for 31% of the Mystics' entire home attendance of the year. Oh, mercy. And then again, Aaliyah Edwards here. Edwards from UConn did a great job as 2024 rookie with Mystics, and her own owner couldn't even mention her name. Someone else. Lexi gets it. What that owner said was absolutely ridiculous and backwards thinking. What CC has accomplished will open doors for the next generation of stars. Owners like that are why the W has struggled to grow for so long, which we realize for sure. So yeah, good job, Lexi, on that and being bold enough to say it. right? Like, this is a step backwards. We're tired of stepping backwards, okay? She pointed out the obvious. Your team experienced the Caitlin Clark effect, and you don't even mention your own rookie. What are we doing here? And one of the funniest things here is it got this interview got one of those readers added context they thought might people might want to know. And what does it say? 31% of Mystics' total home attendance for the entire 2024 season came from the 2 games versus Caitlin Clark and the Fever. Okay, did you find this helpful? I sure hope people found that helpful. Then there's also Colin Clark, Caitlin's brother, over here. He just reposts from Front Office Sports.
Capital One Arena, the official number 20,711. It has now become the largest attended game in WNBA history.
If none of that were true, if they didn't have to move their games because of Caitlin, if they didn't have that history-making crowd, what Sheila Johnson said was still utterly ridiculous, and it's still taking a step backwards. It's flat out wrong. Granted, those points are excellent points, and I'm glad they were made. But even if they weren't, even if none of that were true, it's just absolutely unbelievable that in 2024, you have this owner of a team, this businesswoman who says, let's take this from Caitlin because I know some Black folks who gonna have their feelings hurt if and then act out in racial ways if Caitlin Clark gets the award she deserves. I imagine that Sheila Johnson is hearing all the conversations going on. I imagine from every possible angle, up, down, back, forth, everywhere, she's hearing that whatever she thought was a good idea to say was absolutely not a good idea, and that people are calling her out on it. And I hope that she's playing it back and she's like, ugh, I actually said that. Maybe she's not saying, oh, I actually said that, but I imagine she's hearing it. And as a businesswoman, she knows what public perception means. Does she care? Is a good question. I don't know. But I am going to make a prediction, as I said. I predict that we're going to hear from Miss Johnson. Miss Johnson is going to come forth and she's going to apologize or clarify what she said. I have no inside information, and you might say absolutely not. People like that never apologize or clarify. They just double down. I'm still making the prediction. And this is a prediction where I have to say, I hope I'm right. And I'm not saying that because so that I can say I'm batting 1,000, although I still might say that, but seriously, that's not why I'm saying it. That's not why I'm saying I hope I'm right. I hope I'm right because I hope that this woman recognizes exactly what she said, that because Caitlin Clark is white and she's seen other Black women overlooked, that we're going to take from one person to give to a group of people because we don't want to acknowledge Caitlin. And because she basically told the thing that we've been saying and that Caitlin denied in her article, but we know what we've seen and we know what we've heard and we know what we've read. And that is that because their feelings have been hurt because there's been so much shine on Caitlin, which she deserves, okay? But that has caused them to become bitter, have their feelings hurt, and then they're acting out with racism, is what this woman said. Meanwhile, they want to all talk about Caitlin Clark's fans being racist. But anyway, she done slipped up and told the whole truth. But I'm predicting, and I hope I'm right, that this woman is reasonable enough to know that she better do some damage control, and that she's going to come back and she is going to apologize, or probably more likely just say that she wants to clarify what she said, and that Caitlin Clark absolutely deserves this award, and she's not suggesting that she doesn't. And you know how they do. When pressure comes, sometimes people end up taking some words back. Now, I don't know for sure. I don't know her. But that's my prediction. What do you think? I'm pausing because I'm thinking here. I mean, that's sometimes people they just dig in their heels and they double down, but I'm gonna stick with that. I believe that we're gonna hear from her, and there's gonna be some kind of clarification to what she said. We'll find out. Put your thoughts in the comment. Do so respectfully, of course. I'll catch you next time, God willing. God bless you abundantly.